Well, welcome to everybody that is following this webinar. It's a great pleasure for me as director of ESCI to introduce Professor Pelegrí Viader, who is the deputy rector of Universitat Pompeu Fabra. And he's here not simply as deputy rector, that would be more than enough, but he is the person, the Eutopia person at the university. So the one in charge of the European Universities project that has been named Eutopia, a name that has so many meanings and suggestive possibilities. Thank you very much for being here. We have taken advantage of this new initiative, the Open Innovation Challenge, and the new course within this Open Innovation Challenge that he will be presenting to the audience of the students of ESCI, be them from the degree in business and international marketing, or be them from the bioinformatics degree. Thank you very much, Professor Viader. Can you tell us a few words about Eutopia, please?
Sure. Thank you very much, Professor Carreras. It's a pleasure to be here. Let me see if I can move a little slide here that will help me with my preliminaries. Allow me to spend some time telling you about Eutopia. I'm conscious that perhaps you haven't heard about it. You can find at the UPF web all the information about it. Just write Eutopia UPF and you will find the web page of the project. Eutopia is, alongside with other 40 groups of universities, it's an alliance of European universities. Okay? In our case, the universities in our alliance, in Eutopia, are the ones you see on the screen. The Vrije Universiteit Brussels, Cergy Paris Université, University of Gothenburg. I have the name in Swedish, in English, sorry. My Swedish is very bad. The University of Ljubljana, which also I'm incapable of pronounce it. Us, University Pompeu Fabra, and Warwick, the University of Warwick. Those 6 universities responded to a call by the European Union at mid-2018, in which the idea was to have different alliances of European universities that would be prepared to study the problems, the difficulties, the possibilities of establishing European universities. That is, the concept of a university that is something different of what we have now. Okay? To be very concise and very, very schematic, the idea is to create a confederacy of universities, A6, in which we don't lose our identity, of course, we still are Pompeu Fabra, Vrije Universiteit, etc., but that we will develop a new legal entity that will constitute, in the eyes of the world, a university which is a university with 6 campuses, right? And if things go as we hope, a student in any of our countries, or anywhere in Europe, or anywhere in the world, will be able to come to Barcelona, to Universitat Pompeu Fabra, and enroll in one of the degrees that we share, one of our European degrees, and start their first trimester or semester or whatever it is that we end up preparing here in Barcelona, continue next semester or next trimester in Ljubljana, continue then in Warwick, etc., with a single, let's say, administrative file. So it's not, it goes further than Erasmus. No recognition, no paperwork. It's just you enter through our door, you come out for 3 years later, because most likely our degrees will be 3-year degrees, and you go out, I don't know, 3 years later from University, Cergy University Paris, and you are a European graduated at Eutopia. That's the idea, a basic idea, very ambitious, because it's very difficult. And the problems, I can tell you, are enormous. Okay? Legislations, nothing to do. Our legislation with the Swedish legislation or the English one. Fees, okay? We are all public universities, but fees are not the same here than in Paris, than in Warwick. Warwick is very expensive. Swedish, I think it's free. So let's see how can we sort out all these problems and establish something that will be a big university, integrating not only our teaching resources and teaching capacity for creating degrees and excellent tuition, which we hope will be excellent with your help, but also integrating our research bodies. The idea is that our researchers also will be able to move freely also from one campus to another campus. Okay, so I, as a mathematics teacher that I am, I could start teaching a Mathematics 1 course here, but next semester I could be teaching a Mathematics 2 course in the Vrije Universiteit Brussels. Okay, with my salary paid by my university without any barrier. Okay, that's the idea. The same with, in a less easy way, with the administrative staff. Also, staff will also be able to move, should be able to move and spend time in another university, giving support, whatever, to a new degree, to a research group, whatever. And this, as you can understand, is not easy. That's basically the idea.
So, sorry, is this going to transform existing grades, existing degrees, existing programs, masters, or is it going to be for new projects?
The idea is to have both. The idea now is not to go directly to create a joint degree, because the joint degree can be created right now. There's no need to have a European university for that. The idea is to have a degree that is recognized by the European Union, that has validity, complete official validity in all the Union, without having to go and convalidating anything or recognizing whatever. So all the problems that we now have, despite we have Bologna, but the problems, as you know, are quite incredible. And I lost my track now. We were saying...
No, are we going to transform existing degrees or creating new ones?
Our idea is not creating a joint degree now or a joint master or whatever, but first of all, in this pilot stage in which we are, because now we are in a pilot stage in which we are testing all these possibilities, and this is a 3-year pilot. During this pilot, what we are trying to do is to get our faculties to know each other. Okay, so we are trying to integrate subjects, specific subjects in different degrees, around which we can create what we call a learning community. That is, the different professors, lecturers that are taking care of this module here in Barcelona, with those that take care of a similar subject in Paris, a similar subject in Warwick. These teachers, all these people around these learning units, as we call them, that are being piloted, become a learning community. Our idea is that doing this, gradually, we will be able to inspire, mutual recognizance, confidence, and that little by little, we will be able, after the pilot, perhaps to propose and say, okay, now we are prepared to transform, I don't know, economics, subject in economics, Administración en Dirección de Empresas, into a European degree, okay? And supposedly our learning communities in mathematics, in finance, in macroeconomics, microeconomics, etc., will be solid enough to undergo to become these the problems around creating this new degree and start it as a European degree. Mm-hmm. So we can have old degrees or new degrees. Let's say that we start a degree in artificial intelligence, which doesn't exist in any of our universities at the moment. Mm-hmm. We are also now piloting and trying things around artificial intelligence.
Oh, how exciting. Are there new projects that you could say they are purely Eutopia made?
Not really. There are some cooperations among different universities in which 3-4 universities agree to develop the idea of a joint degree. Okay? So this is happening now. Of course, this attempt, these joint degrees that will be created hopefully by these 3-4 of our universities that get together, obviously if they are successful and work well, they will be excellent candidates to be European degrees when we finish. But at the moment, any possibility is explored. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can have also master degrees. Anything that implies more than 2, at least 3 of our universities, we considered it as a utopian project. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
But
wonderful.
We are not forcing, because in some instances we don't have all the same studies or the same subjects. Okay.
Yeah. And within this so ambitious framework, that's really appealing for both for new generations and for those that are working at the universities. What's the meaning of this Open Innovation Challenge that we have here announced as the title of the talk?
The European project, as all European projects, is divided in order to be assessed and to be controlled and monitored, is divided in working packages. One of the working packages, of course, we have a working package studying the teaching problems, a working package studying working on the research areas of each university, etc., etc. But one of them, very important, is what we call, in our case, is WP4, they are numbered, is what we call the placemaking package. Because placemaking, which means exactly the idea that the university has to be natural part of its territory, of its terrain, whatever they have around. So it means we must be able to increase notably our cooperation with industry around us, with firms around us, with public institutions around us, social institutions around us, neighborhoods, citizen science, all these contacts of our university, our teachers, our students, our staff, with whatever is around us is important. It's important to become a European university wants to be an open institution, a very open institution. We must be different from other things. We can't be the same as we are now, just multiplied by 6. So we have to take care of some problems that are now perhaps not solved in some of our institutions. Perhaps in some of those institutions, they are very good at this communication with the industry and the transfer of knowledge. For example, Sweden is very good. The University of Gothenburg has an incredible technical park and a lot of relationship with their environment, their entourage. But there are other universities that may be good in inclusion. They care a lot of being inclusive with students, inclusive with teachers, inclusive with staff, inclusive with in all sorts of dimensions, okay? So one can learn from the other. That's our idea. And so by learning one from the other, we hope to create something which is stronger than each of us, okay? So that's the idea. And placemaking is important. And what is the best way in which you can put in contact students and your stakeholders around you? These official institutions, firms, industry. What is the best way? The best way is to tell them, listen, we are here. We are going to test each other to see if we can work together. So we have some associated partners. I'm going to move a little bit. We have quite a number. These are just some of the associated partners we have. As you can see, I've highlighted in red the ones we have in this slide. We have a few more, but these are the main ones that we have. Incasol, Barcelona City Council, Ayuntamiento, and the 22 Arroba network. Okay. The other universities contribute with their contacts around their own universities. With those associated partners, the idea is that we offer them the possibility of cooperating with us in organizing challenges. Okay? So we tell them, listen, we want to... Incasol, for example. Incasol is an official agency that works for the Generalitat de Catalunya and takes care of the possibilities of finding places, vacant lots to build industry, build new plants, industrial plants, or also houses, trying to solve the housing problem. Okay, so we tell Incasol, listen, we're having 3 groups working on. We want 3 groups of students who want to work on a problem about housing. Okay, will you help us with that? And of course, we have a couple of mentors from Incasol or people that they design, or yes, we can talk to these or to that. So to prepare a challenge, okay, this Open Innovation Challenge consists of this exactly. Groups of students, okay, helped and guided by mentors, which are normally specialists, experts on the different challenges, teachers that help them with the methodology, with the organization, etc., that face a problem. Let's say, now we've talked about Incasol, that we could say, let's face the problem of people who are living in the street in Barcelona and have no house. How can we attack the problem of giving these people somewhere to live in? Okay? So Incasol can provide us with information, databases, all sorts of contacts. You can talk to this, you can talk to that, social security, social workers, etc. Facilitate that, and our groups of students can, through working with all these agents, all these people, work out the problem, diagnose the problem, and prepare a solution. Obviously, in 10 weeks that we will have, the problems cannot be very formidable, or the solutions cannot be terribly. But who knows? The idea is that partners and industry are more and more interested in thinking out of the box, okay? In people that can look with fresh eyes to a problem, and people, young people basically, people who are studying, people who are in the best stage of their development, and perhaps, well, getting all these people together with different backgrounds also, because our groups of 6 students, we aspire to have one student from, let's say, an engineering study, someone from economics, someone from marketing, someone from law, okay? And they may come out with a good, if not a great solution, ideas towards a solution that may be very interesting for Incasol, for example. So that's what the Open Innovation Challenge is. We had a first stage, stage 1, which was a bit more organized through an obligatory subject at Pompeu Fabra, okay, because we didn't have so many possibilities at the moment. It was just to test the methodology. We had 20 groups working on that at UPF, mostly hosted by the engineering school that had already a subject called project management. So it was just a very good opportunity. Our 40 students who were purely utopian just went into that group, okay, and worked with the engineers, but all in this kind of problems, and not technical problems, not software problems, not creating a robot. No, just attacking a problem that anyone can understand. You don't need special knowledge, just to think about how can we solve the problem of someone who's sleeping at our door instead of having a room where to live in. As I said, something everyone can have, but through the possibility of having people who know about the problem, who know the different aspects, the causes, the consequences. You can end up with perhaps a nice, if not solution, a nice idea that someone can use in order to solve all these situations. Sorry.
No, sorry. You were mentioning that you have, as Universitat Pompeu Fabra, already the experience of having a course that you mentioned that it was a compulsory and obligatory course.
Well, yeah.
So here are 2 concepts that will be interesting for our students to know a bit more about. A course on a challenge. How is it a course on a challenge working? And another thing, obligatory. What does this mean? Is obligatory the one that will be launched?
No, it was an obligatory subject for the engineering school, because the engineering school wanted all their students to be able to develop to study what is a project, and not to get them solving an engineering problem, because then they all they're getting out their calculators and all that, and drawing schemes and all, and they forget about the project. No, the idea was, let's have a different project, a completely different project, societal project, like the ones I mentioned, climatic change, okay, study how do we recycle plastic, okay, and so you don't need special knowledge to do that. You just need to be able to gather information, to work with other people that are gathering information, organize yourself, use perhaps some software that our teachers were presenting them. Listen, you can just entering your results, your data, you can organize them using this software or this other software. There's a lot of software now, free software in the market now for these kind of things, because in some near future, most of those students, being them engineers or lawyers or economists, myself, for me, what I'm doing now is an enormous challenge.
Of course.
So I'm learning. I didn't know anything about managing a project. I can tell you that. 18 months ago, I didn't know a word. I didn't know how to begin. Okay? So for me and for my team, this is a challenge. Right? And it's an enormous challenge, but it is a challenge. And we are prepared to face with mistakes, okay? Lanes that we will explore that lead us nowhere. All these things, and we have to prepare reports, and we have to prepare, gather data, We have to obviously be able to work in an international atmosphere. So that's all what we are trying to reproduce at a smaller scale with our Open Innovation Challenge. Okay?
Yeah. Looking at this as a course, will this be a course with the teaching staff, or with other classmates, with grades, with exercises?
The problem is that the only work here is the challenge. Okay? So there's going to be obviously 2 teachers in this Glocal Challenge. Just to mention about the Glocal in a minute. Okay? Well, in a minute I will refer to that. Okay? Glocal, in this first stage, in the obligatory stage in which we worked with some groups in the first term, the challenges were local, but the idea was that our pool of partners, the different partners, had to think and choose the best challenges that the student had prepared, and choose those that were more scalable to a global situation. Because obviously all big cities have housing problems, but maybe the specific problems of housing in Barcelona are not the same specific problems than housing in Warwick, which is a rural, more or less, situation, or Sweden, okay, which is a very, very rich country and a rich economy that can manage things and not very populated, so they can solve this problem. So the idea was to choose global challenges, challenges that could be global. From all universities in the Alliance, we have had groups working, and now we will have in Brussels, the end of March, a meeting of some of those groups with the pool of partners of all Europe. And this pool of partners of all Europe will decide which of the challenges, not the groups, but the challenges presented, are the most interesting and the most easily translated into all the situations. And those are the challenges that will be set for the Glocal Challenge subject. So, students, if you come and you work with us, you will find yourself surrounded by students that may be first-year students, second-year students, third-year students, okay, even fourth-year students sometimes, more difficult because they are worried about their final degree and all that, but there are also a few. Possibly we'll try to make new groups. The old groups will disappear because many of those students also won't be repeating the experience. So these will be new groups formed across UPF, ST, Technocampus will provide also students. So you will find yourselves creating a new group in which you will face a new challenge, working on 2 specific areas, right? And you will have the help of 2 experienced teachers, and you will have the help of 2 mentors, 1 mentor for each. Mentors that are specialists, experts, which are not teaching, are there to solve your problems, most of them suggested by the partners, okay?
I see.
And that's the idea. There's a class situation. Well, at the beginning, there's going to be 2 or 3 sessions in which teachers will tell our students, listen, how to manage a project, okay? Well, you have to do this, that, and that. How to organize your group. You have to organize your group in this way. You have to have 1 or 2 people searching data, 1 or 2 people studying a little bit the program in which the application you will have to use in order to enter all your results. People in communication, how you will communicate. You will be asked to prepare a very small video with your idea, the way you're going to tackle your problem, your challenge. This will be a 1-minute video, but this 1-minute video will travel along Europe, okay, and everybody will be able to see it, and pool of partners all around Europe will be saying, oh, that idea is good, let's have a deeper look into what these people are doing. Then, yes, it's organized a little bit like a normal subject with 3 sessions of work, okay, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Fridays. But this is only an excuse. Everything will be recorded. If you miss 1 or 2 of these sessions, no problem. We'll be able to see it to watch it when you wish. And as most of the work after the second week will be working among you, you will be able to organize this work weekends, late in the evening, okay? When we used to do these things when I was young, late in the night, if there's no curfew, okay? So there's going to be a lot of flexibility, right? A lot of help. And the idea is to create an atmosphere of learning by doing, which is one of your mottos, learning by doing, in this case really by doing. And by the end of the course, at the end, let's say beginning of June, of course you will be asked to present a report. So this is our findings. We present our report, written report. You will be asked to present a PowerPoint, and obviously we will record the presentation of your PowerPoint for each group, so that we can have then our jury made by the partners, in this case Barcelona partners, and possibly some others from Europe, okay, decide, well, from the 6, 7, 8 groups that we will have, I don't know, we don't want more than 8, that's the idea. So all in all about 40, 50 students. So the best, the more original, the group that has prepared more their data, has worked a little more solidly, this group will be selected and will be given the possibility of going during the month of October, I think it's October, the end of October, something like that, to Gothenburg. In Gothenburg, of course, all this, Europe pays for all these trips, okay? The planes, stage, boarding, everything is obviously provided for. And in Gothenburg, there will be what we call the hackathon, but it has nothing to do with coding or programming or building robots, okay? A hackathon in which the 6 groups, 1 for each university, will meet there. These 6 groups will be reformed, so it won't be your group that will compete with the others there, but again, there will be a mix-up of everyone. So you will be sitting next to a Swedish guy, a British student, okay, someone from the Frey University, and presented a new challenge, different from the one you've made here. This new challenge, obviously, will be a challenge that can be tackled in 5 days, 5 intense days, okay? So you must go prepared to work for 4 or 5 hours a day, concentrated on this challenge. But of course, there also will be the opportunity of enjoying yourselves in Gothenburg. October, it's not terribly cold in Sweden. It's cold, but not terribly. And Gothenburg is a beautiful and lovely city, I can tell you that. And then, again, the pool of partners from all Europe, etc., will choose 3 of those teams. So that's 50% of possibilities that you have to be in one of those teams. And these 3 teams will continue working on their solution for the challenges that have been set at Gothenburg, at the hackathon. They will continue working. Here you have the whole timeline of what we plan to do, okay? These 3 teams will continue working during the second term and partly the third term, but we will have some mentorship to help them, but no classes, no courses. But they will be working together, trying to find a more elaborate solution in order to be present at Warwick in June 2022, in which we will have a grand finale. Okay, these 3 groups will present their findings, and they will, there again, the pool of partners and the stakeholders in a big gala, okay, will decide which is the most, I hate to say the best, because they are all best, okay? Let's say the maximum, which is a concept in mathematics that is not so hard as maximum, okay? These three groups will present the results, and one group will be selected. This will be the winner. They will be given, I think, an award. I can't say exactly now if it's going to be a trip to Malaysia or a week in a university in Singapore, I don't know, or something more material, I don't know, because it's not decided yet. But what is decided is that if this challenge can be translated into reality, there will be also some procurement in the way. So some people at some point will analyze your work and determine, say, how feasible is it, and tell you to correct. Okay, you say that you can lodge our people, homeless people in Barcelona, in flats in the Paseo de Gracia. Okay, someone will say, listen, guys, this is not very possibilistic. Okay, you have to. Procurement is a very northern concept, that all projects need to be assessed by someone who can decide about the feasibility of the project. So the best project that will come out from the June 2022 gala will be given the opportunity to carry out their idea. So they will be given money, about 8,000 euros, I think it is, so that we'll be able to lodge their idea in one of our incubators. All of our universities have incubating areas for little enterprises. So if that idea is feasible in terms of preparing something, a project, not a gadget, but a project, something which is really interesting, though they will be given the money to do that and the opportunity. Okay, so that's the challenge. That's what we guys can do and participate with us at EUPF.
Sorry, are there openings for everybody interested, or is this
absolutely
is there a
open.
limited number of places?
Well, as I say, we will only, I don't want more than 8 groups, let's say. If it's 9, that's not a problem. Okay, but yes, we don't want 200 groups. Okay.
Yes. This can be quite popular.
Well, it can be popular.
Nice challenge.
Okay, we have to choose. We'll choose by criteria of the, I don't know, the best.
So the students interested will not be properly registering, but let's say.
Oh no, yes, they will be properly registering.
But before they have to state their willingness to register.
Yes.
And so they will be chosen after.
Yes, in order to, if you are interested, I don't know if no, I didn't say that. But if you click, it was the Open Innovation Challenge addressed you to the web page.
I see.
In Eutopia page in UPF, and then you can see the enrollment process. Yeah. You have to send an email to our address, which is eutopia@upf.edu. Okay, very easy. Saying I'm interested in enrolling in your Glocal Challenge subject. Okay. After that, you will receive a confirmation. Yes, thank you. If there are an avalanche, we'll have to do some selection, but I don't foresee an avalanche. Okay. And so that will happen. You have to do that before March the 7th. And in the week from Monday the 8th of March till the end of that week, you will get the communication from UPF to pay the enrollment and the matricula, which is at the very, very reasonable, because it's at the price of a public ECTS credit. The course will give you 6 ECTS credits, and ST, or Technocampus, will recognize those credits as optional subjects so that you can use those credits to complete or to improve your curriculum, because I think that is going to be a level of quality. Besides that, Eutopia will provide you with obviously a certificate of your participation. Okay. Momentarily it will be given by UPF because we still discussing with Europe how do we do that, but possibly later next year obviously we will send you the proper European certificate about your participation, and you will be able to show that in your curriculum, your CV.
And don't you have the feeling that, taking into account the lockdown that all our students are going through, all of them will be interested in doing something really different?
Maybe. Well, I would like to have these problems. Yeah, I would be delighted. Okay.
Because
so if we have many people, we can start something here as well. We can have 2 or 3 more teachers here and have a few groups here. Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's really challenging.
Yeah,
as
of course.
The title is about. It's so different from the other things that they are obliged to do. That
the idea is that you can enroll no matter your degree, no matter the year you are in the first year, second year, etc. Doesn't matter. Even if you are in the 4th year and you finish your degree in June, you will be able to continue to Gothenburg because alumni also are accepted. Once UPF, always UPF.
Yeah.
Once Eutopia, always Eutopia. That's the idea, that's the philosophy. So we will be able to our budget contemplates alumni to also moving to Gothenburg or Warwick, whatever. Okay?
Perfect. As we have a representative of the interest of ESCI into this Eutopia adventure, Ramon, do you want to ask any question to the vice-rector in charge of Eutopia?
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, vice-rector. I think it's clear. It's clear the scope, and it's clear the deadline, and we will approach our students with specific instructions from Pompeu. I would say everything is clear so far, and I agree with you. It looks exciting. It looks an opportunity for mobility, an opportunity for knowing each other very good. Nothing on my side.
Sorry, I was asking Professor Ramon Chifre without paying attention to the fact that he doesn't have a micro. So I'm sure that somebody will be complaining about not understanding, not hearing.
Repeat his question.
Professor Ramon Chifre was saying that everything was very clear, and that he was also sharing the point of view that this was really exciting and different from what we used to have. And this, I would say that of all the things that you have been mentioning, the one that is perhaps the most challenging is that the team that will come out from here will be completely reshuffled. And made truly European.
Absolutely,
at Gothenburg.
That's the idea. That's the idea.
A real appealing.
Of course, solution. Because in this way you can find 5 people that you will work very closely for a week, and that can become friends for forever.
Does this mean that the same kind of reshuffling will happen here in the launching of the course? So that you will be separated from your usual classmates?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. Because you will be given a few days to know each other, and then you will be asked, okay, well, let's reshuffle a little bit, some engineering here and there. We have 3 engineers there, not good. Let's move 1. For people from the law school, no, move, something like that. But yeah, that's the idea.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you want to add something or repeat, perhaps, taking into account that many students of you will be following.
No, so saying again, thank you for the presentation. I think it's very exciting. I think in ESCI we have the potential of contributing because our students are very international oriented. They work on projects. They are open to innovation. So yeah, our commitment is to share the information coming from UPF as soon as possible with clear deadlines and a specification of the course, and we'll encourage our students to participate. I think it's very good. It looks very well structured, and I mean, it's a challenge. So of course, there is no prize for sure. It's just work. But the way ahead, to me at least, looks exciting, and it looks very well thought and very well prepared. And thank you again for coming and explaining not just the open innovation, but the whole Eutopia to the ESCI community. Thank you, Vice-Rector.
We have not only students attending this meeting, but also the staff of the school. Many of them have also been extremely curious to see from first-hand, Vice-Rector in charge, knowing more about Eutopia in your own words, and how were you stressing the points of real interest.
Let me add that Eutopia offers also other opportunities. Okay, we have what we call career ambassadors, students that share with other students around the alliance the possibility of extending their careers, studying the job markets in their universities. We have students studying working with a kind of challenge, which is see how international is our curricula. Concretely, we have about 10 students this year, but we will need more students next year. For all these things, we have students now working, but next year we will need more students, right? So if you are in first course and second course, and perhaps if we have to select people and we are not able to select you, next year you will be able also to participate in Eutopia. And if things go as I think, we will be able to establish the Glocal Challenge subject as established subject, which I intend to do, integrating it in a minor in the Faculty of Economy. I have to convince my colleagues there. And in this way, next year, you will also be able perhaps to participate in, because I think the methodology of the challenge is very interesting, in the way that you face something completely new, you have new partners. Is the same situation you will find when you go to a firm. Okay, you start working in a, I don't know, in a whatever, a graphic design shop that tell you, well, you go there and you need to have new partners. They tell you have to solve this series of problems in the next 2 months. You have to be able to move and to face this situation. So it's a good way to learn, to test your capabilities of working with others, the capabilities of facing a real problem, and the capabilities of finding a good solution. So I think it's a win-win.
Of course.
So if you can't find a place this year, next year we'll find you a place. Then perhaps the hackathon won't be in Gothenburg, but we'll do some similar. Don't worry.
Although now I will ask for a question that will have a predictable answer. Let us surprise with a different answer. Will this be in person or online?
Next year?
No, the one this year.
No, the one this year, the idea is to have it a little bit hybrid. We have 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If there are 2 or 3 plenary sessions or presential sessions, it will be very difficult, I think. But in any case, it will be some Mondays, okay? And Wednesdays and Fridays, everything will be online. And as I tell you, we will work with our Campus Global, our our platform, our learning platform. Everything will be recorded, and you will be able to if you miss a class or you miss a, because these sessions, more than classes, are sessions, okay? Sessions in which you will work in groups, okay, or will give instructions, or you will be able to speak to your mentor, speak to your teacher, and raise doubts, etc. More tutory than actual listening to someone telling you things, okay?
Thank you very much. We are now at 50 minutes in this session. That's the typical lecture time.
Lecture time, yes.
So let's stop here. This has been extremely intensive in information and in incentives to think about possible projects. And we thank you very much for coming here to ESCI and to have this conversation, explaining to all our community. We hope that have this available for anybody interested in looking at the conversation and thinking about what they have to, if they want to register, if they want to send this message of interest.
That's right.
This has to be done in the next week.
Yeah.
I see it's
yeah.
really
At
the
the
next
most
week
before March the 7th, which is a Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, well,
10 days. 10 days from now.
10 days. Any question, you can write to eutopia@upf.edu, and someone will answer you, okay?
Okay.
Or you can write to me directly, as you wish.
Okay.
You will find me in the Pompeu directory. Very easy. Pelegrí.viader@upf.edu.
Thank you very much. It has been extremely fascinating, and thank you again for coming here. I wish you will have a lot of work because of this, because this will be a very good sign.
I hope so.
I'm sorry for you, but it will be a very good sign.
It's okay. Thanks to you. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.